Getting ready to step into your career era? Set yourself apart with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Hone your skills with apps like Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and more, powered with the latest in creative AI. Students save over 55% so you can build a portfolio you're proud of. Launch your future with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Visit adobe.com/students to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus has movies. So many movies. The movies you've seen 1,000 times and could watch 1,000 more. Iconic movies your friends can't believe you haven't seen. New movies, classic movies, new takes on classic movies. So whether you're into Top Gun or The Naked Gun, Mean Girls or Mission Impossible, Smurfs or Sonic the Hedgehog, there's a mountain of movies to discover on Paramount Plus. Start streaming today.
Well, welcome to another edition of the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Stephen Rothberg. I'm the President and Chief Visionary Officer of College Recruiter, a job search site that believes that every student and recent graduate deserves a great career. I am really excited to briefly introduce a couple of guests that we have today. We have Ryan Steelberg from Veritone. A lot of people in the HR and TA tech world will probably know Veritone better from one of its acquisitions a while back, and that was PandoLogic. And then also this past week, they acquired Broadbean, and that's what we are here to discuss today. And Alex Fourlis is the head of Broadbean. So we've got the two best people to talk about this deal. My co-host is Peter Zollman. Peter, you want to introduce yourself and then fire away with the first question?
Sure. I'm the founder of AIM Group. We do business intelligence and conferences for marketplaces, and we have the RecBuzz conference in, you told me, Barcelona next year. I lost track. And for the record, they did not acquire Broadbean this week. They announced the planned acquisition. So why don't we just take it from the start and ask Ryan, give us a broad outline in 2 minutes or less of the Broadbean PandoLogic matchup and why Veritone did this.
Well, thanks again for having us today. We're excited to talk about it. And, we're going to be, when we do close, and I'll kind of touch on that, which we expect to happen in just a few short weeks here, we'll be able to go into a lot more detail, and we'll be providing a lot more information. But the Broadbean acquisition is something that we've been looking at and, frankly, in discussions with them for almost a year now. We were actually looking to close this transaction in the fourth quarter of last year, but for, I'll just say, very other corporate initiatives at Veritone, we had to pull back for a while. And again, we're very thankful that Broadbean was still around. We stayed in obviously close coordination with Alex and his team. And then it really afforded us the ability to, when we really got back engaged, since we've already done a lot of due diligence and started working together, we were able to move through this expeditiously, despite them being owned and controlled by Apollo.
Careful.
But so the high level here is, we feel that AI and program and automation are just forever growing trends that are going to impact in a positive way the HR space, and specifically the talent acquisition and recruiting space. When we looked at this sector and we were trying to get into it, we immediately felt that we could apply a lot of our AI and historical expertise to this ecosystem. And Pando, and now subsequently Broadbean, were perfect targets, because the application at the end of the day of those, or a part, at least specifically for Pando, the output of their AI solution is programmatic job-based advertising. My career going back to the mid 90s, one of the building is I'm a poster child for ad tech. We built one of the largest ad servers called AdForce. If you guys have been around for long enough, I started that in 1994. And my whole career has really been building, I'd say, neural network-based, now AI, more established machine learning ways of programmatically automating and making more efficient advertising at scale. So when I'm moving into this space and I see PandoLogic, I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. I think we can really build upon that. That being said, there were some gaps in that portfolio. And obviously, the lifeblood of AI, the lifeblood of targeting, the lifeblood of programmatic is data. Can't target, you can't deliver, you can't evaluate, you can't apply attribution without data. And Broadbean, obviously, with their very large installed base and their very rich data set of over 5 billion data points in just, I would say job advertising metrics alone, was a immediately something of interest to us. So now you can imagine if I could marry the programmatic opportunity and algos of Pando with Broadbean's mass distribution for job board distribution and their data sets, you really could have a very defensible end-to-end solution. And obviously, with our expertise of not just AI, but candidly our expertise on advertising in general. And we're going to talk a little bit about media, not just job board advertising, but expanded employer branding. As you know, this is all coming together, and I think we're in a very defensible, attractive position to really dominate this space.
Yeah, branding is obviously a big and growing business, as is social media marketing for recruitment. Let me ask Alex, how will this change things for your job board / recruitment marketplace clients in the short term and in the midterm? Obviously, you can't give detail, but you know how it's going to improve things, change things, whatever.
Yeah, we had already started kind of integrating programmatic solutions into our portfolio, right? And that was the first, I would say, close encounter we had with Veritone. We viewed their technology from the PandoLogic side. We really liked it. We liked the prediction algorithms that they're bringing in. And we were looking, the official opportunity to work together on that. So I think the two things that our clients should expect, one is a full portfolio of solutions. Like always at Broadbean, we offered different workflows according to what clients wanted. So that's definitely what we are bringing in now, that you can have a programmatic, single job solution, you can have a campaign solution. We want to bring predictions into the decision making. So all these things are things that we're going to work together. Some things will take more time. Some things will be imminent. I think things like offering a programmatic single job or a campaign solution will be pretty short term. Some things like working on the data to really offer the same type of predictions that Veritone and PandoLogic offer in US today, offer it globally using our data set, we might take a little bit more time. But definitely there's a lot of things that should excite our clients.
Awesome.
Optimize your business with a Workforce AI Edge powered by Visier. Make smarter decisions and achieve better outcomes with real-time AI insights delivered to every people leader. Explore more at visier.com.
One thing that struck me about the deal was, to me, it spoke volumes about the Veritone acquisition of Pando, right? If that had gone poorly, if TA Tech was proved to be a bad sector, if job distribution proved to be a bad fit, you never would have gone and done a Broadbean deal. But both organizations, Pando and Broadbean, at a very high level, job distribution. So clearly, and Ryan, you spoke to this, there are strengths in both. I'm wondering over time, how does Veritone see duration-based postings that I think Broadbean is very strong in versus programmatic performance-based that Pando is much stronger in? Do you see both coexisting in substantial numbers like now? Do you see it really swinging very far one way or the other?
I think, well, obviously as a percentage of engagement, we'll call it that, programmatic will definitely increase, right, as a percentage of activity in the space. That being said, I do believe that there's going to be a hybrid model for an extended period of time, and I think it's going to be almost like a continuum. So what we do, what we look at when we apply AI and automation to any sector, we really start with what is the legacy model where it's human on the loop, meaning the human beings are doing the majority of the work, right? And then there's humans in the loop, which means they're being assisted with the technology. And then there's ultimately, I'd say, full automated, where it's humans out of the loop, right? We believe that this ecosystem is going to follow that same narrative. So to be clear, we are not trying to eliminate when those have, people have a preference and a loyalty, or they have a very specific target and they want to move fast, and they don't want to, like, I would say, start up the programmatic engine, and they just want to get to, a set of diversity boards, for example. That we always see the human element there. Again, we view these technology solutions as empowering them to make better decisions. And yes, we're very biased for larger budgets and things. We do think that the machines at times can be much more efficient. But again, that's the beauty of this. We are not going to be deprecating some of the manual things. We just think we're going to be super empowering the programmatic side. So I look at it as a continuum over time that's going to be growing.
It's like an all of the above.
It's all the above. I don't want to say, we're good to do anything. But again, there's one major difference between, I obviously see a lot of similarities of the growth of the how the ad tech market matured over the years, right, in the web space. That obviously today it's dominated by 100% programmatic, as we know, right? But even in the display digital marketplace, social media, they're still very manual. I would say manual posting, manual based advertising. So I think there are the biggest difference obviously between this ecosystem and traditional media or consumer brand based advertising is the like on job boards, the fundamental content on the job boards is the advertising, right? Mm-hmm. If I go to ESPN, right, the fundamental content is obviously not the ads. we all would like to see less ads. So therefore it's absolutely a different vehicle. A lot of the technologies and protocols are the same, but we have to remember the actual content itself is the advertising objects themselves, the job recs.
Good point. Do you think this consolidation or M&A foretells other, ongoing consolidation in the industry? And what do you think about the impact on the job board industry, recruitment marketplaces as a whole? And I'll give Alex exactly 60 seconds. I'll give Ryan rather. No, Alex. Let's ask Alex exactly 60 seconds to answer that before we run out of time. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I'll try to answer. So, yeah, I think there's still consolidation to be had in the industry overall, right? So I won't be surprised. We are in a period where people are looking at their budgets, they're becoming tighter, and I think it's a time where the best solutions and the more complete solutions will survive and thrive in the next upward cycle, right? So definitely we'll see a lot of that, and I think tying it to the previous question, there are different markets around the world, and you report on those markets. There are markets that are ready, like the US now, for the programmatic to really grow a lot faster side of the market. Still, like if we look at the 36 billion we're talking about, the job advertising market, there's still like a very small or less than 20% amount that's focused on the programmatic delivery, right? So if we look, areas like Asia Pacific or Europe where we play, there's a lot of markets that are dominated by single job board strategies. So there is still a lot of change to happen, and I think the ambition here is to control the velocity, to work in any way every local market and our clients want to work, and to work where they want to work inside the ATS ecosystem. I think that's another very critical piece, that we are looking at this as an ecosystem. ATSs and job boards will have to work together to offer better solutions, better budgets, and better applicants to the client. So, and I think that's a very critical piece of our synergy that also will play out.
That sounds great. We will await your closing. We will then talk to you again, I hope, sometime in the not too distant future. And if we had more time, we'd probably spend another half hour asking questions. We're out of time. We appreciate Alex, you being here, Ryan, you being here, especially in the different time zones. Stephen, appreciate you being here, maybe, but you handle the arrangement, so I appreciate that. Gentlemen, we will talk to you soon. We appreciate it very much, and I think that's a wrap. Stephen, you got any closing words?
Just speaking on behalf of the job board partners, I'm excited. I think we're gonna see growth in North America, where Pando is so much stronger. We're gonna see growth in Europe and Asia, where Broadbean is so much. And I think you're gonna naturally see Broadbean customers making better use of programmatic, and Pando customers making better use of the sort of the more traditional kind of job posting with a bigger job board network. Kudos, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you. Thank you very much.